Hi, good morning, students. Welcome back. So, this is a intermediate Telangana board first year physics paper which is held in March 2023. Now, I would like to share the question and answers for the IPE board exams. See, let us check the 2 marks questions. Here, 2 marks questions, total 10 questions, each carries 2 marks. The board of examination intermediate gave the answer paper also. Let us check which is correct answer for correct question. Let us check the first question, question number 1. What is the contribution of S. Chandrasekhar to the physics? That means you can write any one of the answer for this. Let us check this one. Here, Chandrasekhar limit, or else you can write structure and evolution of the stars. For this you will be awarded 2 marks. Question number 2. Can the coefficient of friction be greater than 1? So answer for this will be yes. The coefficient of friction can be greater than 1. And related to this you can write for heavily polished surface, coefficient of friction mu may be greater than 1. That may be the answer. First of all, yes, if you write 1 mark, remaining part will be 1 mark awarded. So question number 3. When does a real gas behaves like an ideal gas? So as you know, the answer is so many times it will come. That is at low pressure and high temperature, LPHT, a real gas behaves like an ideal gas. That is question number 3 answer. Where about the question number 4? State Dalton's law of partial pressures. For this you can write either this one or this one. So simply you can put the side heading as Dalton's law of partial pressures. So for this answer will be for mixture of non-reactive ideal gases, the total pressure is the sum of partial pressures of each gas. Or else you can write like this also. P is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3 plus dash dash so on, where P1, P2, P3 are the pressures of individual gases and P is the effective pressure. That's it. Next to question number 5. How can systematic errors be minimized or eliminated? That means here 3 answers are given, 3 points are given. Any 2 you can write for getting the 2 marks. Like improving the experimental techniques. Number 2, selecting the better instruments. Number 3, removing the personal bias as far as possible. That's it. Next, question number 6. Give the expression for the excess pressure in the liquid drop. For this, you have to write the formula for the liquid drop. Excess pressure, P is equal to 2T by R. You better to mention the terms in it. T, 2T by R, or else in some books they gave 2S by R. Okay. S or T, both are named as surface tension, where R is the radius of the liquid drop. That's it. Next, question number 7. What is the principle behind the carburetor of an automobile? Simply the answer will be the Bernoulli's principle or Venturi-Chonel principle. Any one you can write, you will get the 2 marks. Next, can a substance contract on heating? So the question number 8 will be, can a substance contract on heating? Give an example. For this answer, if you write the S, you will get the 1 mark. Some substance contracted heating. Example, rubber, cast iron, pure water from 0 to 4 degrees centigrade. Or you can say some other example is that silica glass is an example for this substance contract on heating. Next, question number 9. Question number 9 will be the greenhouse effect, explain the global warming. Okay. For this, the answer will be like this. Here you can write either in this way. Due to the human activities, concentration of greenhouse gases increases, thereby absorbs more thermal radiation. This is called the greenhouse effect. Or else you can write a simple definition for this. The entrapping the heat radiations in a suitable enclosure is called greenhouse effect. Simple answer. Or next, global warming. That is, due to this surface of earth becomes warmer, this effect is called the global warming. Simple. Because due to this global warming, what happens? Ice caps are melting faster, sea levels are rising, and weather pattern is changing. That is about the 9th question. Next will be the 10th question, the given. Now 10th question is, if A bar is equal to I bar plus J bar, what is the angle between the vector and the x-axis? For this, simple answer will be like this. A higher formula you can write theta is equal to tan inverse of AY by AX. Ay stands for 1, Ax stands for 1, 1 by 1, tan 1 in tan inverse of 1 indicates the 45 degrees. Theta is nothing but the 45 degrees. Or else you can write like this also. Cos theta is equal to Ax by mod A bar. That is Ax means 1. This is root 2. Root of 1 square plus 1 square. Root 2. 1 by root 2 indicates cos. In cos 45 degrees is nothing but the 1 by root 2. So in that manner also you can do. Any one you can do related to this. Formula will be avoided 1 mark and the angle information will be 1 mark. That's it about the 2 marks questions. Next go to the 4 marks question. Yeah, 4 marks one. If mod A bar plus B bar is equal to mod A bar minus B bar, prove that the angle between the A bar and B bar is 90 degrees. So you can write it in easy manner. So many times they will ask, sometimes they will ask for 2 marks also this question. Mod A bar plus B bar equal to mod A bar minus B bar. This is the you have to find the magnitude of each one. As you know the formula, according to the parallelogram law of vectors, root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. This is A square plus B square minus 2AB cos theta. Root cancelled. A square, B square cancelled. You will get A4AB cos theta is equal to 0. Cos theta is 0, which is nothing but the cos 90. Cos 0 means cos 90. So simply you can write theta is equal to 90. That's it. You will get the 4 marks for this. Okay. Next, the question given here is, a ball is dropped from the roof of the tall building and simultaneously another ball is thrown horizontally with some velocity from the same roof. Which ball lands first? Explain your answer. So for this, here you have to consider the 2 cases. One is freely falling ball, another is horizontally thrown ball. So in the first case, as you know, the height of the building is equal to displacement of the ball, which is h. For the first ball, initial velocity which is dropped, freely falling, u is equal to 0, a is equal to g, s is equal to h, t is equal to t1. So as you know the formula of equation of motion, s is equal to ut plus half a t square. You can substituting here, u means 0, h is equal to half g t1 square, or t1 is equal to root 2 h by g. Let it be equation 1. So if the second ball which is horizontally thrown, in this case you have to consider the vertical components. Here vertical components means initial vertical velocity should be the 0, a is equal to g as usual, vertical height is equal to h, t is equal to t2. Same equation here you have to use here, same equation, but you have to mention that in place of s, by u, y, as usual t means t2. Okay, if you substituting, same, repeat the same thing here, 0, half t square, t2 is equal to root 2h by g. So from these equations 1 and 2, what do you observe here? From the equations 1 and 2, 2 balls will reach the ground in the same time. Or else, if you write like this also, they will give the 4 marks. They say, but the correction lecturer is not satisfied with that, with these 2 lines. You better to write that previous derivation part, t is equal to 2h by g. So both the balls will have same initial velocities, vertical velocities, and acceleration due to gravity is also same for both the balls. Hence, both the balls reach the ground at the same time. Okay. Here, if you write like this also, a relevant answer also, you will get the 4 marks. They say, but you better to write that one only, derivation part only. Okay. Next, the 13th question, very well known question. 13th one. Yeah, 13th one is given here. Explain the advantage and disadvantage of the friction. Okay. As you know, any 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages. Walking is not possible without friction. Holding the pen in your fingers, in between the fingers. Brakes of the vehicles working with the friction. Nuts and bolts holding the surface due to the friction. These are the any 2 you can write similar to this one also. Disadvantage means you can be better to write any 2. Like wear and tear of the machinery parts will be increases. So the lifespan of the machine will be decreases. So unwanted heat will be generated due to the friction. Due to this, power loss occurs, energy loss occurs, hence it reduces its efficiency. Like this, any 2 from these 3 to any 2 you will get the 2 marks, so totally with the 4 marks. Next, the question will be the distinguish between center of mass and center of gravity. So you have to write the 4 points. So like this, center of mass, a point of the body which the total mass appears to be concentrated is called center of mass. Here total mass, here total weight. Center of gravity and center of mass coincide in case of the symmetric bodies. Symmetric in the sense regular shaped bodies. Whereas in case of this center of gravity, center of mass do not coincide in case of the non-symmetric bodies, irregular shaped bodies. Next, point number 3, it depends on the mass of the distribution. It depends on the acceleration due to gravity, small g. And some more, it may or may not lies within the body. Where about this, it lies within the body. That is the difference between the two, center of mass and center of gravity. 4 points will get 4 marks. Next question will be the define angular acceleration, torque. Establish the relation between the angular acceleration and the torque. Okay, let us check this one also. See, okay, angular acceleration, simply you can write rate of change of angular velocity is nothing but the angular acceleration. For this, 1 mark will be avoided. You better to write the formula also. Alpha is equal to d omega by dt, which is units will be rad per second square, radian per second square. Next, the definition of torque. It is the product of force and perpendicular distance of the application of the force on the axis of rotation are relative to this. Simply you can write rate of change of angular momentum is called torque. Simple answer. Rate of change of angular momentum is called torque. For this, 1 mark will be there. So as usual, derivation related to this, you better to write the derivation. It will be very easy for you. As you know the formula, tau is equal to dl by dt. Okay, tau is equal to dl by dt. Like this also you can write tau is equal to dl by dt. Okay, but you know that L is equal to I omega. Simply tau is equal to d by dt of I omega. So I will be taken outside, I into d omega by dt, or simply you will get the value of tau is equal to I alpha. That's it, simple derivation. In this manner also you can write. For this derivation you will get awarded at 2 marks. Okay, next question will be, what is orbital velocity? Obtain an expression for it. So for this, definition of the orbital velocity. The horizontal velocity required for a body to move around a planet in the circular orbit is called orbital velocity, or simply the minimum horizontal velocity required to set a satellite into an orbit is called orbital velocity, as your wish. Expression, you have to draw the diagram. For the diagram, awarded will be 1 mark will be awarded for the diagram. This is very important. Definition 1 mark, remaining part will be they give 2 marks. So according to your source explained, you better to do that one, or else you follow these steps. So here there is no simplicity is there. You have to write better to write the total thing. So this is about the orbital velocity. Finally, you have to mention this v naught is equal to root gm by r, or simply you can say root gr. So here you know the small g relation, gm is equal to gr square. Okay, blah blah blah. Okay, this already everybody know, I think so. Next question will be define Young's modulus, bulk modulus and sharing modulus. So it's so simple question. So many people they won't read, I think so. They always read only 2 questions from these important questions, like strain energy and behavior of the wire under gradual increasing load. This they may be neglected, I think so. So you better to read simple things, isn't it? If you want to know more about this, you better to follow my I will explain the total topic in 20-30 minutes around. Total topic will be there, so you better to check my videos. So now the 17th question, Young's modulus. Simply you can say the ratio of longitudinal stress to the longitudinal strain is the Young's modulus. For this you better to write the formula also, or simply you can say y is equal to FL by AE. Okay, if you want you can write the units also. As you know the units is Newton per meter square, or Pascal, Rascal. No, not Rascal, Pascal. Okay. Next, bulk modulus. Bulk modulus, since it is the ratio of hydraulic stress to the hydraulic strain, is called the bulk modulus. So or simply you can say bulk modulus means bulk volume, bulk stress to bulk strain, or volume stress to volume strain, whatever you want. Or simply B is equal to minus PV by delta V. This is the formula. Again, if you want you can write the units also. Next, shear modulus or rigidity modulus. You can say shear modulus or rigidity modulus, both are same. it will be represented by G or neta, eta. This is the symbol. So this is the formula. The ratio of shearing stress to the shearing strain is called the shear modulus, or you can say rigidity modulus. Or simply you can write the formula FL by A into delta X, or in some books they will give F by A theta also. Okay. So that is about the Young's modulus, bulk modulus, shear modulus. Next, question number 18, so many times it will come. Pendulum clocks generally go fast in winter and slow in summer. Why? For this, the answer will be like this. The time period of the pendulum clock T is equal to 2 pi root L by G. As you know the time period formula. From this you can write T is proportional to root L. You can write T is proportional to root L. Better to write this one, very important one. So as we know that in case of summer, if the temperature increases, length also increases, time period increases, time will be the loss. In case of winter, length decreases, time period decreases, you can get time will be the gain. So that is the answer. So relevant to this, you can write like this also. In winter, due to the decrease in the temperature, length of the pendulum decreases, thus the time period decreases. Therefore, pendulum clock gains time. So temperature, winter, decreasing of temperature, length of the pendulum decreases, time period also decreases, it gains the time. In case of summer, temperature increases, length of the pendulum also increases, time period increases, so pendulum clock loses time. This you have to remember. Okay, for 2 marks, total will be 4 marks. Next, that is about the 18. Next will be the long answer questions, very easy and important questions. Now the long answer question number 1, 19th one, that is, what are collisions? Explain the possible types of collisions. Develop the theory of one-dimensional elastic collisions. You better to write type what the question they will ask, what they ask in the question. You better to follow that one. No need to write the all unwanted things. You better to write first collision definition. So a simple definition for the collision will be like this. Interaction between the bodies which involves change in the momenta is called collision, or relevant to this also. Types of collisions: elastic collision, inelastic collision. In case of elastic collision, both momentum and kinetic energy are conserved. Whereas in case of inelastic collision, only momentum is conserved. Simply you can write like this also. Here you can say one-dimensional elastic collision. For this definition, first definition 1 mark, types of collision 2 marks, diagram will be given 1 mark, which is easy. Two bodies M1, M2, U1, U2 velocities, direction should be placed. You better to write here U1 is greater than U2, then only it is possible, isn't it? Okay, that means they are collision. This is collision. You better to write before collision. This is after collision. So you can write the mathematical part. So you better to write this description if possible. Otherwise, no need to do. Simply you can do the derivation. You can apply these elastic collision. You have to apply the law of conservation of momentum and the law of conservation of kinetic energy. According to this elastic collision, according to, okay, you can write according to law of conservation of linear momentum. This will total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. So take out the M1 as the common, U1 minus V1, take out this side, M2 is a common, take to that side, V2 minus U2. So if you once get this, similarly according to the law of conservation of kinetic energy, you can write kinetic energy of this one, half M1 U1 square, half M2 U2 square equal to half M1 V1 square plus half M2 V2 square. So same, repeat this, check this two, M1 U1 minus V1, that is U1 square minus V1 square, M2 V2 minus U2, V2 square minus U2 square. Equation number 2. So you can do dividing the equation 2 by 1, which is in the form of A square minus B square, A plus B into A minus B. This is also A square minus B square, A plus B into A minus B. By doing the dividing those two, you will get this one. U1 minus U2 is equal to V2 minus V1. Equation number 3. From this, what do you observe? u1 and u2, that is difference of velocities of approach, which is equal to v2 minus v1, final velocity, initial velocity after collision. So you can say relative velocity of separation after collision. This is before collision, this is after collision. So as usual, you can do this derivation as your manner, what you know. Next, long answer number 2. Show that the motion of the simple pendulum is simple harmonic and hence derive an equation for its time period. What is seconds pendulum? Very easy question. So you better to derive this simply. If you better to write the definition also. Definitions, conditions, if you wrote means it will be easy for you. Okay, in this manner you can derive, or else you better to check my video, which is very easy. So they are using here moment of inertia and angular acceleration, torque, simple pendulum. So another way also you can do. For the diagram, 1 mark will be avoided, and for the derivation 2 marks will be there. And for the last one, definition, which is what is seconds pendulum? The pendulum whose time period is equal to 2 seconds is called the seconds pendulum. So any relevant method also they will avoided. Here note, you remember that avoid full marks for any other relevant method also, not this one, this method, or else another method also you can derive. For this, definition will be 1 mark, derivation will be the 2 mark, 3, and figure will be the 1 mark, and whereas the derivation part and the matter explanation of the matter and derivation part will be given for the 4 marks. Total will be 8 marks question. Got it? So this is the 20th question. Last question, that is 21. State second law of thermodynamics. How is heat engine is different from the refrigerator? So they will give in the simple manner. First of all, you have to mention the second law of thermodynamics. 2 statements are there. One is Kelvin's Planck statement, another will be the Clausius statement. According to the Kelvin-Planck statement, no process is possible whose sole result is the absorption of heat from the reservoir and the complete conversion of heat into the work. Or else simply you can write that total heat supplied to the system cannot be utilized to do the total work. In this manner also you can write. Total heat supplied to the system cannot be utilized to do the total work. That is a statement of Kelvin. Next will be a Clausius statement. So you can write like this also. No process is possible whose sole result is the transfer of heat from colder object to the hotter object, or it is impossible to construct the ideal refrigerator. Or else you can say that heat cannot transfer from a cold body to hot body by itself or on its own account. That also the definition. So for that, each statement carry 1 mark, total with the 2 marks. Next will be the heat engine. So first of all, you have to write the definition of the heat engine. Like this, heat engine is a device by which a system is made to undergo a cyclic process that results in conversion of heat into the work. So as you know that heat engine explanation, this is hot reservoir, this is the cold reservoir, this will be the working substance. Whenever the Q1 heat, this is Q1 heat is supplied to the system, it will use some amount of heat and rejected Q2 heat to the reservoir. That means how much amount of heat will be the used to do the work means you simply say that Q1 is taken, Q2 rejected. How much it will be used? Q1 minus Q2. That is in the form of work W, isn't it? Yeah, that means you can say that efficiency of the heat engine is equal to output by input. What is the output here? Work is the output. Input what? See, continuation. So efficiency is equal to output by input, or simply you can say that work is nothing but the Q1 minus Q2. Heat supplied is Q1. If you do the fractionalizing, eta is equal to, that is efficiency, 1 minus Q2 by Q1. Or else you can say in terms of temperature also you can write 1 minus T2 by T1. Here one thing you have to remember, that temperature should be used in the kelvins, or K is equal to C plus 273. Okay, that is about the efficiency of the heat engine. Next will be the refrigerator part. So refrigerator. So it is exactly reversible process to the heat engine. Like this, here cold reservoir which gives Q2, which reverses, which loses the Q2 heat. Then working substance take that one and supply to the hot reservoir with Q1. That means here work done is nothing but W. Now what is the resultant? What you will get the resultant here? Output is losing the heat. Input is as usual work done. Output is losing the heat, that is Q2. Input is working, doing the work. So simply manner you can explain here. A refrigerator is the heat pump which is the reverse of the heat engine. A refrigerator cannot work without some external work done on the system. So here the working substance extract Q2 from the cold reservoir at the temperature T2. Some external work W is done on it and heat Q1 is released to the hot reservoir at the temperature T1. So you can remember that coefficient of performance, that is alpha or beta, whatever it may be. Output is Q2, losing of the heat. Input is doing the work, Q2 by Q1, W. Or simply beta is equal to, or alpha is equal to Q2 by Q1 minus Q2. Or in terms of temperature, you can write alpha is equal to T2 by T1 minus T2. That's it. So this is about the award full marks for any other relevant answer also. So this is the best way, easiest way. So that's all for this. So all the best for your improvement supply exams for June 4th onwards. June 8th, I think the exam will be conducted for the IPE 2023. June 8th will be the exam. All the best. So first of all, you have to remember one thing, that I think that from this question paper, in the next upcoming paper, you will get 30%, 30 to 22, around 25 to 30 marks. Same questions will be repeated, I think so. If not, you can better to do the relevant questions also. So I will explain you in the next topic. Thank you for watching.